Thought I'd do a walk around on a Land Rover 110 Perentie. This is what the Australian Army used. As you can see, this one has come from auction. Nice new paint job. The last of these, someone decided in the Army or frontline machinery decided that, hey, if we give them a coat of paint, we're going to get a lot more for them. But unfortunately, that's about all they did to them. This one, for example, so I see a lot of these registered on the road with the original Army tyres. Now, these ones have got a date stamp of 2009. That makes them a danger to the owner and a danger to other road users. I think actually it's a bit criminal that they put out to auction shiny new paint and it's got tyres on it that are over 20 years old. On average, typically the tyres can be 10 to 15 years old. This one looks like it's got the original canvas on it. It's about shot. There is some mould happening. I have already sprayed it with some white vinegar to kill the mould and pressure washed it clean, but it's pretty well had its day. Maybe get a couple more years out of it. Inside again, so I've given this one a quick pressure wash on the outside and inside. It's not too bad, but the owner, so a lot of things that I'll have to remove prepping it for roadworthy. All these fittings, that part there, that fire extinguisher bracket, I'll have to put the padding on it, an ignition lock. This one's all right, it's not bad underneath there. Footwells, look for rust. I've had them where they've, again, a nice shiny paint job and there was all sorts of rust underneath them, even to the point of mud, you know. Give them a coat of paint, but we haven't even bothered to clean them. So people really should be wary of that. If we can pop the bonnet one-handed, yep. There's the engine. As part of this one, this one's actually getting turbo, power steering. I'm going through everything on it. So heavy duty clutch, so the engine will come out, and while it's out and I'm fitting the new clutch, I'll fit the turbo. I'll give it a coat of paint, clean up the engine bay if need be. This one's got a winch on it, I have checked on the database. That's that enthusiast Land Rover database, I forget what it's called, and it did come with a winch. Some of these, I suspect, over the years, they've just been all the bits and pieces of all the Perenties, and they've cobbled together another Perentie to sell. Okay, let's go down the back. There's the seats. So the Army has done some prep, as in they've pulled the seats out because you're not going to get them passed in any state, certainly not Western Australia. These jerry can racks will have to come off, and the Army have also cut the pointy bits of the lifting hooks off, both front and back. Some come with jerry can racks, some come with water can, some come with jerry cans, and some come with water cans, and some come with both, and some come with nothing. That was its Army number, 49607. What else? That's about it with this one. It's reasonably clean underneath, but like I said, I have pressure washed it. But you can see where the galvanised chassis, they've put a bit of coat of paint. So again, I like to tidy them right up. Fix any oil leaks. That's about it really. There's nothing too tragic, but I will go through all the brakes, wheel bearings, certainly new tyres. So if we go to this other one, yeah, this one I prepped it for roadworthy. It's been passed. It's got the obligatory Aztec 4x4 sticker on it. Yeah, so that's an important part. In Western Australia, the jerry can racks had to come off. And I think if you look at the ADR standard, it does say something about the angle of the tail lights. So it's not actually just a West Australian thing. Now, I supply all the bits that I take off, I supply back to the owner, and you know, if the owner puts it back on, that's their business. Shiny new tyres, safe. It makes a world of difference to the way they drive and handle on the road. These are my sort of go-to tyres, the Yokohama Geolanders. In Western Australia, certainly most of your driving is the bitumen. The last part is sand. So get a tyre more orientated for the sand. Mud tyres are just crap, really. This one got new shocks on it, just standard shocks. The Army or Frontline Machinery have replaced the canvas on it with the El Cheapo one. It's not a genuine proper Robco. Why? Because they're a fraction of the price. I believe these ones are about $900, where I think it's about $2,200 for a Robco one, but the Robco one's going to last. If we have a look inside, I've thoroughly cleaned the inside of it, tidied up any bits of surface rust and bits and pieces, so the whole vehicle is clean and tidy. You can see it's got, I'll go around the other side, the dash. Now, I know this one has lived without a canvas on it for many years, just sitting around, because when the sun visors are exposed to the weather enough, all the metal part rusts in the sleeve and it just turns into a great big lump of rubbish. So this one has actually got new sun visor, and that's quite common. The padding on the ROP, all the sharp bits and pieces have been removed. Making sure that the gear stick, the pattern is visible. It's a bit hard with this light, but I'll go around the other side. Again, this one had a shiny new paint job and not much else. Basically, this one was a lot of work. There's the engine. I did give the engine a degrease and clean up and a coat of paint, just so it's a lot more presentable. Making sure all the indicators work, all the wiring is right. Making sure it's got decent wiper blades, put new wiper blades on it, making sure the squirters work, removing all the bonnet hardware. Again, they're a bit of a no-no nowadays. And the Army had actually done some prep and cut the pointy bits off. This is also, like most of them, the latest style bull bar, which is the one I fitted on mine. New battery is often quite a common thing. So I put a set of Defender floor mats because I keep them in stock. I don't need to bolt them to the floor like the Army love to do. There's the ignition key. Now, with this ignition key, if you know, see it's got the two little tabs on either side. That's the barrels I replace them with. So when you start the vehicle, you're not starting it forcing the key, because they are actually quite a stiff key barrel ignition switch. So that you're turning it with the tab and not the key, and it's a tiny little key. And yes, you can upgrade it to a later Defender style ignition, but I have no why. So you have a bigger more modern looking key. I see that as a pointless upgrade. It doesn't add anything to the vehicle, but it's then complicating it enough that you can get the electrical switch part on the back of the ignition barrel off a Defender that fail, which is pretty common on a Defender TDCi 2007 and 2016 model. Making sure the seat belts retract on their own. Sometimes you just need to pull them out, give them a clean and a spray lube, and they come good. So there's our nice shiny new tyres again. So again, on this one, I will put all the bits and pieces that I've taken off it back in the vehicle, and the customer can do what they want with it. So these replacement canvases are okay, but they are a bit on the cheap shit side. So what else did we do? Well, this one did rear brakes. The brakes were shot. The front needed just cleaning up. The underside of the vehicle, you don't really get to see it, but it was a lot of cleaning. Getting it nice, presentable, fixing any oil leaks. Sometimes the transfer case can get a little bit weepy. Sometimes the front disc can get a little bit weepy. The brakes were all cleaned up. Making sure they all work. I didn't replace the coils. They were okay, but I did give them a clean up anyway. That's about it. So this one passed. Sometimes with Department of Transport, they don't have a listing for the VIN, and they say it's not a valid VIN, and you have to, I don't know, the inspector had to send them a photo of the VIN. The VIN did correlate to this vehicle, so we're just waiting on the Department of Transport to add it into their system. And they say, oh, it's because never been registered before. Well, that's most of the Perenties that come here have never been registered before. So, you know, you talk to one person, you get one story. You talk to somebody else, you get another story. And you'll get a different story on a different day. So, that's about it. Like I said, tyres, brakes, suspension, steering. If you get all that right, you're a great vehicle. And if you want to save the planet, refurb and maintain your existing vehicle. Going out and buying a new electric car is not the way to save the planet. Sorry, but that's just the facts. I do like this one that's got a winch. I'd like to be able to have this one done by Christmas, but there's so much on, I don't think it's going to happen. But I did want to do this video as a comparison between, I've seen a lot worse and I've seen a lot better, you know, but that's it. All right, hopefully I'll keep doing some more updates. If you've got any questions, just yell out. Okay, thanks, see you later.